Lego Horizon Zero Dawn flops, which is hilarious because this is one of the things that I said it's probably not gonna do that bad. Like, why should it? Because it's a Lego game, it's not that bad. But turns out, it did worse than Concord.
As the scale of video games and the complexity of making them continue to rise as budgets inflate,
Or arguably fall, as we all know, because of woke shenanigans.
and whatnot, a lot of major publishers are struggling to release a consistent cadence of AAA games. Once upon a time, I felt like we would see just many more games from a publisher like Sony than we are seeing now. 2024, I feel like, has been a relatively lean year for PlayStation when it comes to brand new releases. We have seen Helldivers 2 come out, and that was their biggest success this year. But then beyond that, in terms of
LOL, I saw The Last of Us Part 2. Who wants that shit?
of new games, not a whole lot there. A lot of this stuff is like re-releases on PC. We did see like Stellar Blade and Rise of Ronin, but those are third-party games that were published exclusively on PlayStation. In terms of that first-party support, there was Concord, but we all know what happened.
Oh, jeez. I love that. Firewalk Studios, no one's gonna miss you, you losers.
Been there, one of the biggest flops, if not the biggest AAA flop in video game history.
Yep, guaranteed minus 400 million. Guaranteed. It's probably more, but currently guaranteed. Now, currently the biggest losers are probably going to be Ubisoft, because they are already close to $1 billion in losses with just Skull and Bones and Star Wars Outlaws, considering both of those games most likely have already cost them at the bare minimum 200 million each. Star Wars Outlaws 400 million minimum, so that's 600 million. And when Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out, that is not gonna even make a penny probably.
Astro Bot was a nice, pleasant release, though, with critical acclaim across the board. It sold like 1.5 million units in 2 months, which isn't like a runaway success, but it was overall like it's a game.
It's better than anything other they have released.
That made its money back and then some, and hopefully it's a franchise that can continue to grow. And so what comes next after that? Well, there's this title that is a
God of War Ragnarok. Nice. I also love my Norse mythology black.
reimagining of Guerrilla's Horizon, but in Lego form. So this right here is Lego Horizon Adventures, which launched not too long ago on November 14th, 2024.
Ghost of Yote. Everyone's gonna hate that because it's woke shit. Dead Standing is gonna be a success. Spider-Man 2 confirmed loss. Wait, no. This is for 2025. Okay, so Dead Standing good for 2025. Ghost of Yote disaster. And Marvel Spider-Man 2. I guess this is not the Miles Morales one that also lost them money.
I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised at how poorly this game did. While I knew that this wouldn't be like a huge mass market appeal kind of a thing, I figured it'd do better than Concord. Recall that Concord.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Lego game. I guess people don't want to play Horizon Zero Dawn. If the Lego audience is just 30, 40-year-old men, then I guess it makes sense that you wouldn't want to play Horizon. You're probably way more into playing Batman. But I don't know. I thought it's going to be successful. But man, if it's worse than Concord, that's just special.
Launched to an all-time peak concurrent player number of 697 players.
Keep in mind that's probably 200 or 400-ish players from the Firewalk Studios, because when Concord launched, they were taking a day off or whatever to all play Concord and have a lot of fun.
And it was just such an abysmal performance that Sony shut down the game very shortly after launch, and they recently announced that they'd be shutting down the studio as a whole and not be bringing back Concord. despite their initial statement on shutting down the game, saying that they were exploring other options. It seemed as though ultimately those other options didn't pan out, and they decided to terminate the entire IP and just cut this short before it incurred further losses. To see a game perform worse than Concord is kind of shocking, at least on Steam. This right here is what numbers look like for Horizon Adventures, with an all-time peak of only 602 players. And already those numbers have dipped significantly.
How do the typical Lego games perform? Because I don't know. Lego Steam games, can I actually find anything? Lego, whatever. Lego Steam games. Lego games. Okay, Steam. Let's check. Can I see some like statistic mix? Okay, let's find something at least, right? It's not opening fast enough. What the hell is it? It's really okay. Which is the most popular one? Let's take Lego Harry Potter. Yeah, that seems good. Okay, so let's check Lego Harry Potter trademark collection. Lego Harry Potter trademark. That is such a stupid name. Okay, let's see. SteamDB, Lego Harry Potter, year 1 for price history. No one cares. In-game, 122 people. All-time peak of 1,000. Either making a Lego game literally costs nothing, or all Lego games are bad. Because there's a reason why I chose a Harry Potter game. It has a literal peak of 2 months ago, 1,100 players. Because Harry Potter has a 100% giant fan base. And, okay, Lego Star Wars. That's also a good check. Let's see how Lego Star Wars is performing. Okay. Lego Star Wars trademark the Skywalker saga. Okay, let's check this. Well, what do we see here? And whoa, a 2.6k peak of 82k players. Okay, that's actually impressive. The current is 700, which is probably already better than wow. Okay, so Harry Potter failed, but that's strange. I would never expect Harry Potter to fail that hard in Lego. So, okay, this is a disaster. Yeah, true.
To mid double digits.
Oof.
Now, unlike Concord, Lego Horizon Adventures isn't a live service, and it was nowhere near as expensive to make as Concord. So financially speaking, this is not as big of a loss, but it is a financial loss regardless. These numbers definitely indicate a general lack of interest. While we don't know what PlayStation numbers look like, I've tried to look at, like top charts of games played in the last, month or weeks or whatever, and Lego Horizon Adventures just doesn't show up anywhere in those top charts, suggesting that even on PlayStation,
on PlayStation it most likely has 60 people or 30 people potentially playing it. So it's not going to be great.
A lot of people were interested in buying this game. While there are aspects to this game that are appealing, especially with how vibrant and colorful everything is, and how lighthearted they've kind of turned everything to make it appeal to a wider audience and whatnot. Ultimately, it's a game that falls short in many areas. Now, you know what else is colorful? Products from the sponsor of today's video, Yeelight, makers of awesome smart...
The hell is this? Don't buy it.
In the comment section below. Now, I want to emphasize that Lego games do sell well if done right. If you look at how well the Skywalker saga of Lego Star Wars performed, you'll see all-time peak concurrent player numbers of 82,000.
Wait! I watched the same thing, but oh, no, that was Harry Potter.
517 players on Steam.
So you can also show the Harry Potter, because if that's true, I did nothing for anything. I'm a fraud.
And there's still hundreds of players playing right now. The number of players that are checking this game out years after this game's launch exceeds the numbers that Lego Horizon Adventure saw in its entire run. Again, the all-time peak for this game was 602 players, and when it comes to Lego Star Wars, 607 players are playing right now So, what exactly went wrong with LEGO Horizon Adventures? LEGO Horizon Adventures as a game just falls short in
I actually would like to see the statistics for all the Lego games, not not just the two that I checked, because I have a feeling Star Wars is the all-time peak.
a number of areas. A lot of people were disappointed with how this game, while it looks great and there's an appeal to seeing Horizon in this form, it's really charming in a lot of ways. But the combat just felt a little too simplistic. The runtime of this game is just 6 hours, and within that time frame, there's just not a whole lot of things that this game does that are inspired. Like, even for a kid's game, the game design and the level design is just a bit too simplistic. And when a game can feel repetitive within
Okay, none of this makes fucking sense, because that would mean saying stuff like this is stupid, because saying this does not generate the initial number, okay? Saying this just means it's going to have a steep and fast drop off because people are not going to be interested. But saying this that's in game that you need to understand by playing multiple hours of the game, or at least an hour, that doesn't explain the poor sales. Young is just, I mean, he's younging really hard here.
its shorter 6 hour runtime, like that is a problem. At least the Skywalker saga was very expansive in its scope, obviously had a lot of material to draw on as far as source material is concerned, covering the entire Skywalker saga from episode 1 all the way to 9. But it just feels like a much more epic adventure. It's an epicness that doesn't translate to LEGO Horizon Adventures for some reason, despite the fact that the Horizon games are pretty epic. The two that have come out so far, both of them are extremely expansive. And while LEGO Horizon Adventures was always going to be a simplified version of Horizon, they simplified it so much that it kind of loses what made Horizon special. And so the end result is sort of a mixed reception on Steam. From the few reviews that this game got, 144 players reviewed this game, which is minuscule. We're sitting at a 56% user review score. And then if you go to Metacritic and check out what critics think of the game, we've got a mixed or average score of 7.
Wasn't the Lego movie when it came out successful? It's so hard to gouge the Lego stuff, honestly, in my opinion. Because the Lego movie, if I remember correctly, it was successful and people loved it. I did not watch it. But the Lego games, maybe I do, from my childhood, I never played a Lego game, but I do remember Lego Star Wars. And Lego Harry Potter, but Harry Potter is as unsuccessful as fucking Horizon Zero Dawn, which is crazy. Because again, it's Harry Potter. But Lego Star Wars is successful? I'm so confused. There is some kind of very specific reason why people like Lego games and which they like and don't like, and why they buy it. And it's just, I don't get it. I don't see it. I currently don't see the magical reason why someone would like a Lego game and not like a Lego game. It's because clearly the audience for these Lego games is not children. It's probably like 40-year-olds. If anyone knows why people like the Lego games and some are successful and not, leave in the comments. I want to hear more opinions about this because I don't have enough information to go by, and it's kind of interesting.
71% from 94 critic reviews, and from user reviews, we are looking at a score of 5.5. There's a general agreement that it's not like this game is awful in any way, shape, or form. It just doesn't stand out in any way, and even for the more family
A 5 out of 10 is pretty awful.
Friendly type of experience it's going for, they made it a bit too simple, a bit too shallow. You have to give kids a bit more credit than this game does. Kids are smart, and even if you make a game for kids, you can still implement.
You know what? He's actually true. Kids are smart, okay? The fact that they watch Skibbity Toilet is not actually their fault, because I kind of look at Skibbity Toilet, and then I look at the other fucking slop that's currently happening. I mean, Skibbity Toilet is literally the millennial Star Wars. It is what it is. It is what it is. I would also be watching Skibbity Toilet because that's literally the best thing. Everything else is even bigger brain rot. So, I mean, damn, what are they supposed to do?
Levels of complexities that respect that intelligence, and Lego Horizon Adventures, it's almost too mind-numbing to the point where it's kind of a bit boring despite some of the charming elements that it has to offer. I myself played like a preview build of this during Summer Game Fest. It had all of those iconic Lego game elements where they added a certain level of humor, and they took characters and made them kind of silly, and they took moments and made them really silly. And for the first few minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm like having a good time. But as more time went on, it was just kind of droll to continue doing kind of very repetitive things and very simple things that didn't really engage me enough to make me deem this a game that I felt particularly interested in. Not to mention that so much of Horizon is about, characters and story and world building, and a lot of that stuff just gets really reduced in Lego Horizon Adventure. So again, it takes the Horizon elements and dilutes them to a point where it just loses the source material's specialness. And it's also worth noting just what a weird.
Again, none of this explains why no one wanted to play it initially. Did people really have so much information about this game? Like, an hour of game time or something to make these decisions? No, probably not. I would not be surprised if people commented, "Oh yeah, only the Star Wars series is actually successful in Lego games. Nothing else really hits home." Okay. I don't know. I don't know. It seems nice, Young. And you said nothing of value, as always. 10 out of 10. Why do you even exist, honestly, at this point? Have a nice day. Bye bye. That was Young. Yeah, Young out.